A bottle of shiny dust sparkles in the shopkeeper's hands as he rushes down
On the gold
muddy
rush.
street. The man waves his hat and yells, "Gold! Gold! Gold from the American River!" The
Hello, Sick
sleepy
Life.
outpost goes berserk. Carpenters abandon half-built houses.
Tried a Chibiemu video on it. Do you mean on his Empic? I'm not gonna watch multiple videos on the same topic right now. I like to keep things more varied on stream. I might check it out in my free time, but yeah.
The largest migrations in history has just begun. For the next years,
I like to
this
keep
tiny
things
village
varied,
will
otherwise it
become
gets
the
a little
most
bogged
out-of-control
down.
place on Earth, San Francisco. The man with the bottle, Samuel Brannan, watches the chaos he unleashed. It's part
The
of a
gold
plan
rush.
that will make him the richest man in California. The edge of the map. 3 years earlier, Brannan is serving as the highest-ranking Mormon in New York
There's
City.
ranks in
But he's
Mormonism?
already planning their escape.
Okay.
The Mormons' beliefs are clashing with the values of Protestant America, and their leader has just been brutally murdered by a mob in Illinois.
Oh, damn.
Violence is spreading, and many are running for their lives. Brannan wants to evacuate his group west, beyond the reach of the US, and he's not the only one. In early 1846, he and over 200 fellow believers board a ship to sail around the Americas, hoping to build their religious sanctuary. They don't know that
That's how they got around?
the US
God damn.
government has its eyes on California as a Pacific foothold and trade post for Asia. But there's a small problem. It's not empty. Mexico has owned it since freeing itself from Spain in 1821. And owning is putting it a bit generously. Indigenous peoples have lived there for millennia, but in just the last 75 years, forced labor, violence, and disease have halved their population from
Damn.
what used to be 300,000. For the US, this is convenient as a weakened
I did not know that
population
back
means
then.
less
That's crazy.
resistance. In early 1846, US troops cross the Nueces River and start a war. Meanwhile, Brannan's ship is rounding Cape Horn, and after 6 months, they reach the village that will soon be San Francisco. But US Marines have seized the outpost just 3 weeks earlier, and the dream of a Mormon sanctuary in California is dead on arrival. Other men would be devastated, but Brannan sees opportunity. Many pass through a key stop upstream, where a Swiss immigrant named John Sutter has been carving out his own empire on stolen land, brutally exploiting the forced labor of native people. An expanding frontier outpost, but short on supplies. Brannan steps in and opens a general store right at Fort Sutter's gates. And in early 1848, fate walks into his shop. A farmhand pays for a bottle of brandy with gold dust. This news makes Brannan's brain light up like a slot machine. If one random farmhand has gold, there's more to be found.
Interesting.
Gold, gold, gold. The trail leads into the Sierra Nevada foothills, where one of Sutter's workers has spotted something glittering in the mud of the American River. Back at the fort, it's confirmed. Real, pure gold sitting in plain sight. It hits Sutter like a curse. The gold won't make him rich, but destroy him. It causes a fever that spreads like the flu and turns workers into, well, literal gold diggers. He begs his men for 6 weeks of silence to claim legal rights and finish the mill he just started building. But workers are already starting to sneak off to pan for flakes in the river, and soon, entire crews vanish overnight. Gold fever is spreading, and Sam Brannan catches a brutal case. He delivers one last sermon to the San Francisco Mormons, because who wants to shepherd souls when there's a fortune waiting in the dirt? He rides out to the new gold fields.
Bro said,
bottles a
"Fuck my
sample,
God, I
and
need
races
gold."
back to wave his hat and stir up the city. The news ripples outwards like a shockwave, draining towns like San Jose and Monterey like bathtubs within weeks. Brannan is already 3 steps ahead. In his shop, he's gathered picks, pans, whiskey, everything a miner could want, and sells it at an obscene markup. While a whole cow costs $4 in the city, he sells a kilo of beef for $2. Soon, his store is turning over $4,000 a day. Other sellers rush in, charging up to 1,000% over cost and getting it. Not long, and Brannan is making more monthly than most miners will see in their digging career. Instead of gold, Brannan mines the miners, and they keep coming.
Smart.
The global stampede.
Smart.
On December the 5th, the US president confirms it. The California gold discovery is real. tens of thousands drop everything and head west. They call themselves the 49ers, after the year they arrive, or Argonauts, like the heroes who chase the Golden Fleece. But California is hard to reach. There's no Panama Canal and no transcontinental railroad. By land, it's a 2,000-mile trek lined with abandoned wagons and animal bones across deserts and mountains. The sea route around Cape
I'm getting
Horn
tired,
is no
Chet.
better. 5 to 8 months through storms that eat ships for breakfast. Some try the Panama shortcut, sail south, hike through jungle, sail north. It sounds clever until you're vomiting blood from a yellow fever.
I wonder what the average gold gem value is one of those bags. There's no way those bags are worth it.
Meanwhile, the whole Pacific Rim has mobilized. Every major port from Valparaiso to Guayaquil.
Is this your way of bedtime? Well, no, normally my bedtime is very late, but maybe today it will be a little earlier.
100,000 souls have flooded California from every inhabited continent, and nearly all of them funnel through San Francisco. Digging the dream. By 1851, Sam Brannan has opened an office in this boomtown and is buying up land in every direction. He strides through the dusty streets in a tailored suit from the finest imported fabrics, a cigar in his mouth, passing the brothels, saloons, and gambling hells. The people gossip about the many affairs of California's richest man. What his faith once held back, gold has let
He will
loose.
yawn now, play grind to plat till 6 a.m. again. I will not play League again tonight, bro. You are crazy.
In 3 years, the city has grown from a few hundred to 55,000 people,
Jesus.
many of them immigrants. And with almost no women around, gender roles bend out of necessity.
What?
Men dance in dresses as ladies or cook and clean, roles unthinkable for white males elsewhere.
Crazy work.
Brannan strolls past the harbour, barely glancing at the hundreds of ships left behind by crews who sprinted to the mines the moment they docked.
Yeah, they be hitting the femboy sturdy, bro.
Opportunity. From here, shipments bound for Brannan's stores are loaded onto boats and sent upriver to Sacramento, a new fast-growing city and main gateway to the goldfields, where he aggressively bought up riverfront land. In the foothills beyond, tens of thousands are tearing the earth apart like manic rodents. Hundreds of mining camps have popped up with poetic names like Murderer's Bar or Hangtown.
Crazy.
At Indian Bar, hundreds of men from the US, France, Chile, Hawaii, and Mexico are crammed into a narrow canyon. Winters are harsh, food is scarce, and grizzlies so common that one resident keeps a cub as a pet, because why the hell not? You can smell the camp before you see it, as no one bothers with latrines or bathing, using every hour to dig.
Ew.
Men get sick from the filth, but there's no one to treat them, as even doctors figured digging pays better than healing. The camp is scattered with deep pits everywhere, and the once Emerald River has been choked with sluices and dams.
Ew.
The miners use pans, rockers, or long toms, a wooden washing trough worked by multiple men. Shovelers load dirt that passes through a metal riddle into a riffle box where gold sinks and lighter sand washes away. It's backbreaking, repetitive work. Someone screams. A miner is standing in the freezing cold water, grinning like a madman. He just pulled $350 in flakes from one pan. That's years of East Coast wages. The camp erupts with cheering, backslapping, and someone fires a pistol into the air in celebration, because most miners won't see a tenth of that today, and some won't see anything for a week. Next claim over, a white miner accuses a Chilean of jumping the stake marking his mining territory. A punch lands, Spanish curses fly, and a crowd gathers and backs the white man. Foreign miners pay special taxes just to dig. Non-white miners get robbed, driven off their claims or killed, and native Californians face the worst of it. At first, some natives work claims on their own terms, but as the crowds grow, coercion takes hold. In 1851, California's governor makes it clear the plan is extermination. The state pays bounties for their heads and reimburses malicious campaigns. What unfolds is systematic, state-funded, and meets every definition of a genocide. And not only lives are destroyed, the land is too.
I had never heard of that. What the fuck? There was a okay. That's insane. there were bounties on their heads. Like that, it was one thing, because I know that Americans, you know, fucking absolutely destroyed a lot of Native Americans. I had no idea that some of it was like straight up fucking bounties on their heads, like bounty hunting them. I mean, I know that the vast majority probably was because they carried diseases that just straight up murdered them anyways. I had no idea it also turned into much more than that. What the fuck? That's horrible.
After the fever. By 1855, just 7 years after it all began, the easy gold is gone, and the dream of getting rich with a pan is mostly dead.
Yeah, no shit.
In the following years, camps are abandoned and mining goes industrial. High-pressure water cannons blast entire hillsides into slurry, while mercury pours into sluices to trap fine gold. Rivers turn brown with sediment, fish populations collapse, and orchards drown under silt. As large mining companies take over, California's economy evolves and the state's richest man evolves with it. Sam Brannan's name is on newspapers, resorts, banks, and railroads as he helps shape what people later start calling the Californian Dream. He also dabbles in politics, helping launch a lynch mob militia in San Francisco and briefly tries to become a state senator. But in the following years, this manic energy tears his empire down. He starts drinking too much, and his court records read like a bar fight chronicle, assaulting a police officer, brawling in buildings he owns, or skipping bail. In 1870, his wife files for divorce, and bad investments are followed by worse ones. When Samuel Brannan dies in 1889, he leaves his children $2 each. For his burial, there's no money at all. He lies in a vault for 16 months before a nephew finally comes to claim the body. Once the richest man in California, he's now buried in an unmarked grave.
That's crazy.
Aftermath. Sam Brannan understood that the real fortune wasn't in dreaming, but in selling the dream. The biggest profits went to shippers, bankers, merchants like him, and to large mining companies. Most of the thousands that chased the golden promise of quick wealth and freedom didn't find what they came for. 1 in 12 lost their lives on the way to California, in the mines, or heading home. But many more stayed. By 1900, California's population had exploded to nearly 1.5 million, and it became one of the most ethnically diverse states in America. The human tsunami also birthed an infrastructure of agriculture, manufacturing, shipping, and finance that became a blueprint. Move fast, bet big, reinvent yourself. It's the same DNA that later builds Hollywood and Silicon Valley. But the prosperity is built on stolen land, exploited labor, and genocide. Between 1846 and 1873, up to 16,000 native Californians were killed. Many, many more died from forced labor, starvation, and diseases, or were displaced. Their population dropped further from about 150,000 to just 30,000 by 1870. And the land itself still bleeds poison. Of all the mercury used in mining, up to 6 million kilograms were lost, and some of it is still polluting rivers, reservoirs, and San Francisco Bay. It poisons fish, contaminates soil, and it will do so for the next 10,000 years. And yet, the same momentum that destroyed also built. It reshaped a state through waves of migration, laid the infrastructure to connect a continent, and fueled an economy that transformed the world. All because we just can't resist digging up shiny rocks.
I didn't know that California was like actually just straight up built on gold like that.